Thanks very much, Lynn. Lovely to be here. You can't imagine how proud I am to actually be here today. My name's Joe, and I'm an alcoholic. And I say that now with a certain sense of pride, because in 2 months' time, it'll be 27 years since I've taken a drink of alcohol. And it hasn't been easy, and I've learned a hell of a lot on this journey of recovery, but I still say with pride that I'm still Joe and I'm still an alcoholic, because to me, alcoholism is an important word, because what it means to me is that the alcohol's in the bottle, but the ism's in me. And ism stands for, as far as I'm concerned, I, self, and me. Because it was me that chose to drink, and it was me that suffered the consequences of my drinking. And I used to go to my doctor, and I'd say to doctor, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you, doctor? And he would say, I can only imagine. Because Lynn asked me to be honest, and I'm going to be honest today, so be prepared. I'm from the Wirral, which, as you know, is the posher part of Merseyside. But I haven't come to cause any trouble, but just to try and relate to you my experience, my strength, and my hope. And another day, and also I like playing with words. And what I really want to talk about is what I feel is still a bipolar disease in research in alcoholism. And when I say bipolar is, I think that there's still a split. So I'm going to try and introduce a new word into the academic vocabulary called quantitative. And quantitative it's equal partnership, if you like, or a merger between quantitative data and qualitative data. It's a merger between subjective and objective, and it's also, we've talked about mixed methodology. That's the posh title for it. But I think if we can understand what the patient is really trying to express, then we've got more chance of being a successful national, international, and globally renowned centre. I really believe that with all my heart. Another proud day in my life was, and I put this up because when I see this, it makes me feel joyful and sad at the same time. Sorry. This was the day I was awarded my PhD in medicine. And my field is, it's a simple field. It's called psycho-neuro-endocrino-immunohematology. And basically what that means is, it means that everything's connected. And it starts off with psycho. It starts off, in my opinion and from my experience, within the individual. And it's driven by emotional disturbance, And I've got all these qualifications, so it does give me some sort of strength to talk about this. But probably my greatest qualification comes from this. After many, many years of stress, anxiety, depression, shame, guilt, remorse, and trying with all my heart and all my soul to stop, I still couldn't stop. And the people around me would say to me, Joe, if you carry on drinking like this, then you will lose your wife and children. You will lose your job. You will lose everything. I knew that. I was doing a PhD all that time ago. So there's nothing wrong with my cognitive capacity and capability. It was nothing to do with my thinking. It was to do with my emotions. I knew that I needed to stop. And for many, many years, I tried to stop with the help of medicine and psychiatry and psychology. But something had to change within me. And I met a group of people who'd been there before and had managed to stop drinking. And they talked to me in a very direct and straightforward way. One of them called me a knowledgeable idiot, and I resented him immediately. And he then went on to become my guide through the recovery process. And another thing he said to me, he said, Joe, take the cotton wool out of your ears and shove it in your gob. And I thought, doesn't he know who he's talking to? And that was my understanding, is I thought I knew what I was talking about. And in truth, I didn't have a clue. I could say big words in biomedicine and hematology and stuff like that, but about myself, I didn't have any idea whatsoever. Because as far as I'm concerned, the answer's not out there, the answer's in there. And that's what I've come to now. And really, I think in order to get a bigger picture on this and see a wider perspective, I'm making a plea. I'm begging you with all the earnestness at my command, right, to listen to what I've got to say next, please. Because I'm an ex-drunk, and that's informed everything that I do. I've started to write books, like Adrian, and maybe he can help me with my book as well, But I've started to write books based, first of all, on my personal experience, and that's now informing the theory. So there's something that's come out of this. But metaphorically speaking, and reading between the lines, as they say, I think that we need to ask, not tell. Because every time I went to my doctor, every time I went to my health professional, they would tell me, this is what you need to do. And I'm honestly saying now is, please, let's turn that the other way round. Let's try and find out at depth what's really bothering the patient deep down. Learn to listen and listen to learn. And sometimes we need to stop what's going on in our head where we think we know the answers and go in with a more humble approach of maybe I don't know everything on this subject. And we've alluded to this, is maybe there are areas with which we've got in which we've got no clue. And I think if we really, really delve deep and ask patients in a particular way, right, with clean languaging and clean communication skills, we've got much, much better chance of helping people early on in their alcoholism development. I've nearly finished now. But maybe there is a need for a quantitative approach. But as they say, and Einstein's reputed to have said this, and he was quite a clever chap, right, that not everything that counts can be counted, So, as it says in the middle of the motto of the University of Liverpool, and I'm proud to be a member of that community, if you like, it says fiat lux. So let's hope we can shine some light on this situation, and thanks very much indeed.